I built an ADHD test and I need you to take it. Now, where did I get this idea? I don't even know myself, but what I do know is that I perfectly recreated the TOVA, Test of Variables Attention, ADHD test. Now, the test itself is basically a reaction time test, but on steroids. Basically, you just stare at a black screen for 21.5 minutes, and occasionally a little shape will pop up. Depending on what shape it is, either you press as fast as you can, or you don't press at all. The test is 85 to 90% accurate at spotting ADHD, even though it came out over half a century ago, which is pretty shocking. Now, I did try my own test, and I got a pretty good score, but I'm pretty sure that's because I was on my Adderall, which is literally speed. Yes, that's literally what ADHD medication is, stimulants. Now, the test works by looking at a few variables. What counts as a variable is pretty subjective, but for me, it's pretty much these 5. Commissions, emissions, reaction time, variability, and D prime. I'll have to explain what all those are. Commissions refer to how many times you clicked when you shouldn't. Emissions are the exact opposite, when you didn't click but you were supposed to. Then there's reaction time, which is on average how long it took you to press the button or the screen or whatever. And response time variability is like how random your responses were. So low variability is if you get 400 milliseconds every time. High variability is if you're jumping between 100 and 700 every other turn. Speaking of 100, if you responded in less than 150 milliseconds, it doesn't count. You were guessing, it can tell. D prime is a rather complicated equation that I can't really explain in a way that a normal human would be able to hear, but here are the equations for it. There's also another variable called post-commission response time, but I didn't add it because it's pretty unreliable and not a good indicator of anything. The way it calculates scores is by looking against what's called a norms table. It pretty much just looks to see how you are compared to the average person of your age and gender. So take me, 14 male, I'm expected to get 13.2 commissions. So if I get 20 commissions, then that's not good. My test comes with 2 pages where you can see your scores. First, this one gives you a pretty neat graph that shows you ADHD level and if it's inattentive or hyperactive. And then you have this chart, which is just everything you answered, one huge sheet. This is not 100% reliable. Get diagnosed for ADHD if you're not sure. This isn't like a diagnosis. You have to know that. That's like huge disclaimer. I currently only support ages between 6 and 18. If you're an adult, then just go with 18. You're not going to get a reliable result. You'd have to check it against the norms table for your age category. Might add that later. If you take this test and drop the results down below, I'll probably pin your comment, but I can't guarantee it because that would give you motivation, which can actually mess with this test. Also, if you know Scratch, feel free to remix my project and add whatever you want. Probably not going to be as reliable, but still do it. I'm not entirely sure why the creators of this test put everything in publicly available manuals. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing you want to do if you're charging, $320 for a test, but I'm not complaining. It's kind of sad that a middle schooler can make a better online ADHD test than your typical online ADHD test. You know what? I'm going to set a high boundary here. 5,000 views, I'll upload a full tutorial as to how I did it and how you can do something similar. I'm setting that really high bar because, first of all, I want views. Second of all, I'm a bit lazy, so I'm not really sure if I want to do a full tutorial.